Welcome inside of the main conference room at Hoffer Plastics. This format, video blogging, is something that I want to experiment a little bit more with in 2018, so expect a little bit more of this this coming year. You know, writing Bald in Business has been a lot of fun for me. My goal with the blog is simply to empower and encourage fellow leaders in their leadership journey. You know, one of the side benefits of writing the blog is that it's not only crystallized some of my thinking around the topic of leadership, but the relationships formed because of writing the blog have helped me become a better leader myself. So for that, thank you all for participating, and thank you for being a part of this journey for me. Hopefully it's helped you as well. In today's post, I wrote about a sensitive topic of job satisfaction, namely the discontent that I observed from some of my friends at a conference last month. And, you know, to be honest with you, I feel like I'm only touching, just touching the basics of this topic. But the conversations that I had with individuals last month really led me down this path of, people really feel like they want to make a difference in a company. So for me as a leader, I'm thinking about all the people that I interact with and, the positions that we have across the board at Hoffer Plastics, and how can I personally help them feel empowered? Not only that, how do I help them really become decision makers? One of the things that was in my mind as I had these conversations was that, there's this onboarding process. Really it starts before that. It starts with the interview. Patrick Lencioni talks about this in his book, The Ideal Team Player, which is a book that we use very regularly at Hoffer Plastics. In short, the book says that an ideal team player is humble, hungry, and smart. So it's common sense that, especially from a selling standpoint, which is one of the main areas that I oversee, that you want people that are hungry. I mean, if you're not hungry as a salesperson, you're going to starve, right? So that's pretty simple. But in other positions, it may not be so readily noticeable. And so that's an area that I think you want to make sure as a leader that you're bringing people on your board that want to advance, that want to grow. More than that, though, you have to trust people. And I think that that's the question that I'm still kind of racking around in my head. Do I really trust the people that are on my team? And I can honestly answer that for the most part, the answer is yes. And I need to give those people a little bit more autonomy to even make purchasing decisions or things that maybe in the traditional model that we exist may not exactly be according to the company policy, but would make people feel a little bit more valued and trusted. And so that's something I'm going to work on. The topic of rewards is a topic that I wrote a short little paragraph I probably could write a book on, because immediately you go to the idea of compensation. And to be very clear, compensation is a big deal. It's a big deal because if people feel like they are being unfairly paid, they're not going to be on your team very long. So as a leader, I think it's absolutely mandatory that you check that box. Having said that, though, I've been challenged by some of the conversations that I've had in the last few months, one last month at last month's conference, because compensation by itself is not enough. If it were, you could look at the overall job statistics and the overall level of happiness in the United States and just see that, even though we are the richest nation in the world and arguably living in the richest time of the world, happiness levels are strikingly low. So I'm not saying anything that's new here. And so that just, begs the question why. And I don't really have a concrete answer for you in this video, but it is something as a leader that I'm thinking about. And I'd like some feedback on that as you think about it in 2018. Shoot me a message or comment in the comment section of this post. Last but not least, something that I am very passionate about is telling people to their face how much they're worth. People need to feel valued. Yes, as I say in the post, people can smell a fake a mile away. Like that girl in high school when I tried to, be kind of cute and, maybe flirtatious or what have you. Back then I had cool head of I don't. At least I have a cool blog title. Back then, you know, they could tell when I was faking. And it's no different when we're growing up, right? It's no different at all. If it's not authentic, don't say it. However, and I think this goes largely to the male population out there of leaders, I think sometimes as males, we're a little bit shy in terms of giving that positive affirmation, that verbal affirmation about someone's self-worth. What I've discovered is that often the right thing to do is on the other side of your comfort zone. And often that's saying the heartfelt thing to another guy about what he's done, you know, from a leadership standpoint, or, you know, having, you know, the guts to say it to your incredible salesperson who happens to be a female and who happens to, you know, maybe look at the world differently than you do. There's a little bit of awkwardness there, a little bit of discomfort. For me personally, sometimes it's with somebody who's, you know, a few years older. I won't say, you know, decades older, because then I'll get some hate mail. But sometimes you have to be a little bit uncomfortable in saying what you need to say. The point is that you say it. And you say it because your team members matter. They should never go home thinking otherwise. So those are some few thoughts to kick off the new year. Look forward to doing this a little bit more. Hope you're paying attention to those goals that you set last month, and I hope you're off to a wonderful start in 2018. See you soon.